Hi there, my name is Jessica Abawag, and I'm the owner and speech-language pathologist at Fluens Children's Therapy. We provide speech therapy and occupational therapy for kids with locations in Tacoma, Washington, and Columbia, Tennessee. Today we're going to be talking about some tips to help your child build their speech and language skills. First and foremost, it's never too early or never too late to encourage speech and language development. Even as a young child, a baby, a newborn, you can start using some of these tips and strategies to help develop your child's speech and language. Maybe after your sleep deprivation phase is over, or at least lessened a little bit. But the first tip we're going to talk about is narrating your day to your child. Now, this may seem a little awkward or silly at first, but once you get the hang of it, it will become more natural, and it's so important for your child to be in what we call a language-rich environment, especially at that very young age. They are sponges, and children are mapped and wired to develop language. So it's important for you to give them that language. Narrating your day can be very simple. It's basically just acting like a newscaster and talking about what you're doing. From the minute that you wake them up, you can say things like, "Good morning, I'm happy to see you, it's time to get out of your crib, let's change your diaper, let's take off your pajamas, put on new clothes." Everything that you're doing, you're just narrating to them. And this can be, again, done all throughout your day. Say you're driving in the car and they're in their car seat. We're going to grandma's house. Oh, we have to stop at a red light. Oh, I love this music. It's basically going to sound like a one-sided conversation until they start talking and interacting with you, but you can start that really early on, and it's so important for their language development. The second tip is to copy what your child is saying. And this can start as early as your child starts making noises, whether it's cooing or babbling. The first thing you want to do is just copy what they're saying exactly as you hear it, so that they can start to understand, oh, this is a good thing. They can get that positive reinforcement and praise from you, and hopefully continue that speech sound development and continue making additional sounds. So if they're saying baba, mama, baba, you say baba, mama, baba, and hopefully they'll repeat back. They may or may not, and that's okay. You just want to copy. Eventually, you'll want to start using the sounds that they're making and attaching them to real words. So if they're saying something like baba, 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 you say, oh, you want your bottle. They may or may not want their bottle, but you're just assuming. And again, you're just copying what they're saying and attaching it to a real word. They might be saying ba, ba, ba. Oh, you see the ball. So again, using the sounds that they're saying, copying it back to them, and attaching it to a real word so that they can start to make those connections between the sounds that they're making, the words that we attach to things in their environment. So that's tip number 2, copy what your child says. The third tip is to put more visuals around your house. Now, this can be done for any child, but this is especially important for kids who have been diagnosed with a language disorder. So for example, on your fridge, you could put pictures of what's inside the fridge. It gives them an opportunity to understand by seeing a visual what vocabulary you're using with them, as well as have an opportunity for them to express their needs and communicate before they even start using real words. So for instance, if they have access to milk, cheese, applesauce, yogurt, maybe you put pictures of those on the outside of the fridge. And when it's snack time, you point to it and say, would you like some milk or some yogurt? And then maybe wait for them to respond. Maybe they want applesauce and they point to that. But again, even without using any words on their end, they have a chance to express their needs and wants by putting more visuals around the house. This can also build vocabulary in other ways by labeling, putting pictures of a chair, maybe their favorite toys, maybe pictures of family members or people they interact with on a regular basis. Again, just giving more opportunity for them to build their language skills and vocabulary. And the fourth tip we're going to talk about today is to try not to overcorrect speech or language mistakes. It can be really challenging as kids are getting older not to want to correct them every time, especially if they are starting speech therapy. Sometimes we'll see parents start to fall into that because they really want their child to do well and they have the best intentions at heart. But sometimes if we're overcorrecting kids, they can start to get more frustrated, they can start to shut down, it'll negatively impact their social emotional skills, It'll draw more attention to something that's already frustrating for them. So as much as possible, we want to be encouraging and supportive. And if you save kind of speech time or activities that you're doing specifically, maybe recommended by your speech therapist, for designated time, say maybe 10-15 minutes out of the day, and that's it, or maybe only during bath time you're working on the sounds and that's it. Just make it really clear, like this is speech time or activity time, and every other time you just kind of let them be kids and have that interaction and have those meaningful relationships with them. So those are 4 tips to help boost your child's speech and language skills. And if you're looking for additional support beyond that, feel free to give us a call. We're happy to see how we can help support you and your child. Take care.